Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the Model Horse Maniac and welcome back to my collection tour series. So if you don't know, on this channel recently I've done a few videos of my model horse collection. I've done one on Schleich, I've done one on My Little Pony. Haven't done the Breyer one yet, but today we're gonna do the one that is like the miscellaneous ponies. The ponies like the Copperfoxes and the Stones and the CollectAs and the Papos. And all the ponies that aren't big enough, I don't have big enough of collections to make a full video about them. But we're going to have a look at them in a little bit more detail and show them off a little bit. So if you like random model horse brands, then stay tuned. So we're going to start off sort of where we left off last time. So last time I was looking at my Schleich horses, and we're going to start on the same scale. So we're going to have a look at my WIA collection. These guys are produced by Model Third Versland. They were first introduced in about 2019. And they're the same scale as Schleich. They're little versions of like a Burl sculpts. Can't remember off the top of my head who else has sculpted them, but there's been a few different sculptors now. And they're really, really nice, really, really affordable. And I have a good chunk of these. I used to be a completionist. I'm not anymore because there's been a few more recent ones I'm not so keen on. But we have, you can see the Burl bowing horse. We've got the Nicholas, the Sharif, the two newest ones that I unboxed on the channel recently. I believe the first one that was a WIA, Bella Rose, the Arabian, that guy who I'm not really keen on. I bought him when I was back in being a completionist. Lancelot, who I absolutely love, and Gustav, who is the OG one that really started all the WIA horses. He was the first one sort of as part of a series, so he's really cool. So yeah, these guys, I really, really like them. It's really nice for me as someone who cannot afford resins and is not gentle enough to dare buy resins. It's nice to have little versions of some pretty expensive resin models. So yeah, these guys are super, super duper cute. And while we're here, we might as well go down and have a look at my Copperfox model horses. So Copperfox were a British brand. They were founded by Becky, who owned Early Horses. If you were living in Britain or heard the drama, there was a lot of drama when they first set up. And I absolutely adore these guys. Unfortunately, the company has pretty much gone out of business. It was sold to the US and then sold again. And basically, I don't think they can make it work in the current climate because it's just so expensive now. Looking back, we didn't know how good we had it. I mean, these guys were runs of hundreds, not thousands, and they were only about £60 each. So I have a good chunk of the original ones. I'm still missing a few, and I'm very iffy about buying them secondhand now because they do have paint problems. You'll see a couple of mine do. The paint, something about the primer, there was a batch that didn't set properly, so the paint flakes off. So that's a real bummer, and it does stop me from being wanting to spend a ridiculous amount of money on a model that might flake. But these guys are pretty much all ones that I bought when they first came out. So we have the Exmoor pony, Henrietta, on the end, and then we have the Connemara, and then we have the Irish sports horse, which I think is my favourite. Finnegan, the chestnut in the middle, is absolutely divine. And that Jasper, the done one, has a rug on because he's actually a second, or not even a second, I don't think. I think he was sold as a body. He's not completed, but oh well, he'll do for me. It wasn't my favourite colour anyway, which is why I didn't get him when he first came out. And then we have the Welsh Cobs, which again I absolutely adore. We have my Kickstarter Cob, who is in very bad condition. I'll try and you can see the paint flaking off. He is the one that I have that has the flaky paint, which is such a bummer because he's such a nice pony. And I did actually manage to get one that didn't have the egregiously bad dapples as well, so that was a shame. And then the two Ruperts and the two earlier Cobs, whose names I can't remember. But yeah, these Copperfox, I really hope the sculpts appear at some point in the future, whether Breyer ends up buying them or Stone, or somebody buys the company that can put a bit of investment in, because these guys are super, super cute. And next up we have my little teeny tiny Peter Stone collection. I don't really collect stones because they're just so expensive. But I do have like that designer horse Palouse, who I absolutely love. I have 2 twin thoroughbreds. Put bids on both of them thinking, well, I'll only win one, and I won both. Early horse is Shane, and then a little conger of the stock horse who's adorable, and also the draft horse in the back. I do really like these guys. There's also a Black Horse Ranch resin down there. Yeah, I do really like these guys. They're just so expensive in the UK. And then if we turn around, we come to my CollectA shelf. I really, really love CollectA. One day I'll have them all, but for now I just pick them up when they're cheap enough. So you can see on the top we have sort of the ponies, what will fit up there basically. And then I try to arrange them so we've got more like heavy horse brands. And also the bigger Dulux scale in the background. I'm not so keen on them. And then we have sort of anything that will fit, basically. Yeah, these guys are absolutely amazing. I do prefer them over Schleich at the moment. Their paint jobs can be a bit more iffy, but the sculpting, Deborah McDermott, who sculpted them, did an absolutely amazing job. So they're really, really nice horses. And then, because we might as well make our way around the room, we've then got my little like animal hospital collection from when I was a kid that just lived down here. Pony in my pocket. Love Pony in my pocket. Don't find enough of them really. That Pony Arena's from my childhood. And we also have up here my rapidly growing, like, I Love Ponies, My Beautiful Horse, Puppy in My Pocket collection. So you can see at the top we have these guys, which I just absolutely adore, and they're so cheap when I find them that I just can't say no to them, basically. Annoyingly, I find a lot more puppies and kitties than ponies, but oh well. And we also have an inbox one there, and then we move on to, you can see I've got all the breed cards, and then just like a random assortment, a mixture of childhood ones and ones I've got from like charity shops and like car boot sales and stuff. But these guys, they don't take up any room, they don't cost a lot of money, and they're cute, so they stay in the collection. And quickly up here, we have my Bezic horses. Most of these guys have some sort of rub or something. They're all ones I found for really cheap at the car boot. The most expensive one I bought was £4, which was that Shire in the background, so all super duper cheap, and they all just live up there happily. And this is where like my really random ponies live. So this is very hard to film because the loft slopes. So I'm hitting my head filming this, but I'm going to try and do the best job I can. So we have like, these are all just car boot finds. There's a crafty pony. There's some like Russian ones. There's a cheval, animal artistry, Northlight pig, Trail of the Painted Ponies. And we have some of these like Sport of Kings ones in the back, which are quite nice sculpts. They were like a magazine thing a few years ago. Britons, Leonardo, and then some more Leonardo ones that desperately need help. One day I'll get round to restoring them. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing it. And then this is my other like miscellaneous shelf. So we have Breyer up there, but then we have like, there's some Sugar Cubes ponies, which were like early horses made them, I'm pretty sure they did, but you used to get them free with orders from early horses, so that's why I have quite a few, and they're adorable. And there's some early learning centre horses in the back as well. These guys are a mixture of safari. I actually really like these big like Dulux scale ones they did a few years or quite a while ago now. And that dressage one as well. So I always keep an eye out for those guys. And then down here we have Papo, which I don't collect, but I still have quite a few of. There was an offer of many, many years ago now, where like a local shop I knew had them on sale for $1.99 each. So yeah, I've got a fair collection of them, just inadvertently. And then at the bottom we have like this horse and also this jumping one, which I actually do really, really like. Some of the new Papo are actually look quite nice. I need to wait and see what they look like in person, but from the stock photos, they look like they're up in their game a bit. So yeah, I've had a walk around, and I think they're like all the miscellaneous sort of ponies I have. So thank you very much for watching. Check out my other model horse collection tours that I've done if you're interested in like seeing all of these guys or all of those guys. And I will be doing a Braille one shortly. I've just got to clear up a bit before I film it because I'm reorganizing at the moment. But it will be coming out at some point. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.